get that kind of stuff squared away and
Yeah.
having everything else I'm sure on being a good person or others business.
At AMSA to prepare themselves and
Shout out to my parents.
You're going for you over at AMSA so far.
It's basically the same.
Who's helped you get to this point? Who means the most to you?
have to calm down.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Matt Besachio here once again for WMCT TV and WMCT Sports, and welcome back for another episode of the Senior Spotlight Show, where we bring different student athletes from different athletic programs throughout the city of Marlboro, bring them here in studio, and introduce them to you. And today's guests are the senior captains from the AMSA girls volleyball team. We've got Emma Webster and Cassie Fiore. Girls, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
You're very, very welcome. Now, senior year, senior spotlight. Let's get right into it. Emma, just talk to me about how senior year has gone for you up to this point.
Senior year has kind of felt a little bit like a whirlwind so far. We're like 3 months in.
At just beginning the third month.
So it's definitely gone by quick. I mean, the season is kind of like the highlight of starting senior year for me, at least. And so I feel like it's just gone by so fast. We also have a pretty good program for like college apps and like getting through that. So it's been pretty seamless kind of making that transition from junior to senior year. Up until like this point, I haven't really been that overwhelmed with work or anything like that, just because our classes are so kind of aware of what's going on with like college and everything. So I've really been able to just like enjoy those like senior like programs that we have and everything like that.
Yeah, so no real unexpected hiccups or really anything like that. Everything's kind of gone pretty much as scheduled for you to this point.
Yeah.
What about maybe like a piece of advice? You know, there's different things that do pop up on occasion or different things that you've done to kind of get yourself to this point. So if there was an underclassman out there that was maybe like, man, I'm not really doing as well as I hoped, or things are seeming to be kind of getting a little too stressful, what kind of advice would you give them?
Honestly, reach out to different people. AMSA is a very kind of like academic focused school, and it can be hard to kind of realize that it's not just you going through it. Definitely reaching out to teammates through volleyball and classmates kind of just makes the whole process easier. You're all kind of doing it together. So I would just say like reach out to your friends, study together, just like build those relationships because they'll help you out in the long run.
Very nice. So you were talking about the application process. Are you still just kind of waiting around to see who will accept you at this point? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, right now I have most of my applications done. I have some that I think I have to send in December. I think I might have one November 15th. So right now I'm just kind of just waiting, hearing what's going on. A lot of my other friends, they've applied to like rolling admission schools. So they hear back relatively quickly, but I'll probably get some of my first responses and stuff like that coming like December.
Very nice. Any potential major that you might be interested in?
The major that I've kind of applied to all my schools in right now is animal science on a pre-vet track.
Okay.
But I don't know, I've been kind of thinking about maybe nursing, maybe, I don't know, we got to think about it a little bit, but whether I be like an animal doctor or a human doctor, I'll still kind of have to figure that one out.
Oh, absolutely. Well, either way, best of luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Cassie, how's senior year going for you to this point?
Pretty similar to Emma, where it's definitely been busy with everything going on, but not overwhelming. Our school does do a pretty good job at preparing us for like college apps. And then my parents also like push for me to like get some stuff done earlier. So I feel like I've been super on top of them. And then, yeah, it's just been like flying by. Like I can't believe the volleyball season's like already over. That was crazy fast.
What about maybe the next thing that you'll be looking forward to as far as like maybe a next sport or a school event or something like that you might be looking forward to down the road?
Probably like going to watch some sports games because now that I'm not playing a sport, because I don't do winter or spring.
Okay.
Like it'll be fun to go like support other people in the community and like watch their games.
Very nice, very nice. What about same question that I had asked, Emma? What about, a piece of advice that you might give to an underclassman friend about, putting yourself in the best position you possibly can at this point in your senior year?
I think don't stress too much about the grades because they are important, but our school, like, it's definitely a big focus for a lot of kids, especially younger ones. But one bad grade or even like a lot really won't define you. Like I struggled a lot in math in like my freshman, sophomore year to the point where I failed my final sophomore year. But like I still did fine. I took AP Calculus last year and got an A in that class. I'm taking stats this year. So it's like, if you're reaching out for help and stuff, it's like not a big deal. Like putting in the effort, all you need to do, grades will come with it.
Yeah. No, I mean, failure is a part of life.
Yeah.
It's going to happen at some point. The best thing that you can do is just kind of try to stick with it and do the best that you can. And just knowing that with hard work, you'll eventually get the results that you're looking for, right? Very nice. You're talking about, different resources and things, but to get yourself here and to be as successful as the two of you have been, as a community of different people that kind of can come together. We'll have a shout out portion where you can talk about family, different things like that. But as far as school is concerned, is there maybe a teacher or a faculty member that really kind of stands out to you as somebody that helped you a lot?
I think like all of my math teachers have been super helpful, like especially throughout high school. Like even though I wasn't doing great my freshman, sophomore year, my math teacher, Miss Morante, she was always there to help, like go before school, go after school. We had a study hall during school, like she was always there to help you. And that like helped me so much. Like, I think that's why I did so well my junior year in calculus, because she was just always there for the extra help.
So it's so important when you can find that person that you can connect with, and they allow you just to kind of be a little bit more comfortable and to grow with them. So that's really nice. And as far as plans for possibly like after graduation, applying to schools, is there a particular major that you might be getting into?
I've been applying for microbiology on a pre-vet track as well. So yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, good for you. Good luck with that pursuit. Now we'll talk about like athletics a little bit now. Coach Ben Giovanni, you guys call him Coach Benji. Can you talk to me a little bit about your relationship with him and how he's helped you along?
Coming up through like the program, we have a freshman team, a JV team, and a varsity team. And since we're all from the same school, we're all very involved with each other. We're all around each other. We practice on the same 2 courts. So definitely looking up to like the varsity team and seeing like Benji when I was younger, I was honestly kind of like intimidated by him. And he would be one of the ones once you get to JV who also delivers like you made the team or you're still going to be on JV this year, like that kind of message. So I definitely like was a little bit intimidated by him at first. And then especially this year, being a senior, but also a captain, we've kind of gotten like closer. I think he's a really fun coach. Like he's not the type where it's like you only talk to him about volleyball and about what you're doing wrong or what you need to improve on. But he's also just a good kind of like coach through senior year to have. And I don't have him as a teacher, but he also being the volleyball coach is not just impacting volleyball. I see him around school. He'll always stop and say hi. So it's been kind of nice to kind of get to know him. Senior year, I feel like it's just a lot more different than the other years.
Yeah, no, he definitely seems like a very laid back, very nice guy from a distance. I've only spoken with him a couple of different times in passing, but it's very nice. Can you talk to me about your relationship with Coach Benji?
Yeah, so like I met him in 6th grade because I had like one really good serving streak. And then after that, he would just randomly come up to me. He's like, Cassie, I know this coach. You need to get a lot of serves on them. And I'm like, who is this guy? I mean, I kind of knew who he was at that point, but it hadn't like really sunk in that he was the varsity coach. And then, as I went through the program, I got to know him better. Our freshman year, we unfortunately had some like things going on with coaches. So he became our main coach, even though we were on JV. So that was like nice to get to know him better through that. Cause usually like you don't get to know him till you're on varsity. And then I've been on varsity for the past 3 years. And I've also had him as a teacher the past 3 years. So we've grown like a pretty strong relationship, both like with the academics and through volleyball. And then like Emma said, like senior year captain, it's just like you get that much closer and like understanding of each other.
And he's somebody who's, picked you as a captain, as a leader. Can you, talk to me about your leadership style and what it means to be a leader on the team?
My style is encouragement and kind of like being a good example to the rest of the team, because I feel like that's the best way to get things done. If you like show the effort, you're showing up to every practice, every game, like 100%, I think people will follow. And like, sometimes you gotta like be like, okay, let's focus up. But I think overall, like if you have just a positive attitude, it can really help bring the team a long way.
And you'd consider yourself a vocal leader?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
To what extent?
When I was a sophomore, I cheered so loudly that I significantly lost my voice.
Oh my goodness.
Like I genuinely couldn't talk for a week.
Wow. Well, I mean, that's incredible that you care that much to try to be that impactful, but that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
That's pretty. Can you talk to me about your leadership style?
For me, I'm less vocal in like the moment, but definitely when we have like those team talks, I'm big on team talks and I'm big on team chemistry and making it less like an after school like activity and more like, I don't know, like family dinner kind of like that. I really think that because they kind of helped me out, honestly. We've played together for so long, most of us. The majority of our team was upperclassmen for most of the year. And so we were all kind of friends already, but I really tried to kind of keep that going and kind of keep that family atmosphere that we have. And, in between sets or in between games at the end of practice, just kind of doing like a recap and just being real with everybody. Like, this is where we are. This is what we kind of need to get done the next game, and kind of having that approach to everything. But we were all so close that I just wanted to foster that environment. So we did a lot together as a team.
And there's a different level of accountability, I would imagine, at AMSA because you guys have all been together for so long.
Yeah.
From going basically to middle school and then 4 years of high school, you guys have known each other most of your lives, really. I mean, you only go to school for 12 and you've basically been together for almost half of that. So, it must be, really rewarding to be a leader and to help kind of facilitate that family kind of vibe, I would imagine.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, I kind of just lost where I was going there for a second. I'll start that up in a second. All right. Was that a cut from her answer just to me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm just going to go with just ask a different question now. 3, 2, Cassie, now looking back at your career as a whole, whether it be a specific game or a practice or a team function, is there a favorite memory that you have?
A favorite memory for me? There's so many, honestly, but I think like one of my favorite was in 6th grade when I went on a really long service run, because like that's kind of what I became known for like throughout the rest of my career. It's like, oh, she's the kid who can like serve pretty well. And like I don't know, I remember being so proud of myself, and all the other girls were older than me. I was the only 6th grader on the team at the time. And I just remember being so happy that they were all so happy. Yeah.
It's just that moment, you're kind of like coming out party where everyone realized, oh, you can play. How about that? Emma, how about you? About like a favorite moment that kind of stands out to you throughout your career?
There's the obvious one, which is when we were at an away game and I was on JV. And we kind of had an unfortunate amount of injuries that year. And it just so happened that I'm a middle and I don't play back row. I get taken out by the libero when I go in back row. And my coach, we were ahead in the game, thought that it would be really funny to put me in back row. And then he switched me to center. And so that was just really funny. I was laughing so hard that I was crying. And so that was obviously a really funny memory that everybody talks about. But most recently, we had a really fun game towards the end of the season against Marlboro. And I feel like that was a game that really brought our team together. And, there's a friendly fire between us and Marlboro,
sure.
Being both from this town and city. And I just think that game was really kind of showing of us as a team, and it really brought us all together. So I feel like that was probably the most impactful memory that I'm taking away from this season.
That's great. Now every team has their star players and different players of that are really skilled or really popular or whatever. But there are certain players, certain teammates that you have that kind of fly under the radar, but are still really, really important to team chemistry. Cassie, is there a teammate to you that sticks out as somebody that is deserving of a little bit more recognition?
I think for me is Dasha, because she always knows how to lighten the mood and bring the energy back up. She's so funny. She is so underrated for how funny she is. I I love having her on my team this year. I don't think I've directly been on the same team as her before this year, and I love playing with her. She's so funny, and she's improved so much. Like, she's really like getting there, and I just love Dasha. Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I 100% agree. I think Dasha is so funny, and she kind of helps the whole team kind of retaliate, I guess, or kind of like come back up after we kind of have a bit of a low set or something like that. She also has taken it upon herself to teach Benji like slang and like in words and phrases, which has definitely made it interesting and very funny. But also, like, aside from Dasha, our teammate Aisha, she's like so well-rounded. We were down 2 middles, so we only had one for like a week at least. And Aisha just became another middle, and we just didn't have it outside. She was like, yeah, I mean, like, that's fine, sure, I can do that. Like, she has such like a good attitude around it, and she knows the difference between like being goofy and having fun and also being like unfocused. So if we're in a practice and everybody's kind of just having a little bit too much fun, we're not really being productive, she's good at making like that observation and helping us make that change and helping us all focus in. But she's definitely a great part of the team.
That's great. Now, you're talking about an unsung hero from Team Now. When you were younger, you're an underclassman. Cassie, was there an upperclassman that was, really impactful for you? Somebody that kind of showed you the way, or was like a real role model for you?
I think for me, that was Olivia Deckers. She was a senior when I was in 7th grade, but she was like the nicest person on and off the court. I'd walk by her in the hallway and she'd give me a high five, and that was the coolest thing, the 7th grade Cassie, because our families were friends, and like I knew her before AMSA, and I just loved watching her play. Like, I remember seeing her as a captain. I'm like, that's what I want to do. I want to be like her. Like, I loved her so much.
Oh, that's really nice. What about you?
I was lucky enough that my sister played volleyball too.
Okay. And
so she's 2 years ahead of me. So she was a captain in 2022. She graduated in 23. And kind of seeing her play and everything is what made me want to play. And she, like during COVID, she, played with me in the backyard, kind of like that. And she was also involved in like basketball. And so she kind of just like showed me the ropes. And I honestly like give full credit to her for like learning how to be a captain and learning how to like be a leader. She really inspired me to do that.
That's very nice. I'm sure she'll be very happy to hear that. Now we've reached the quote portion of the interview. I've got quotes from Coach Benji and their athletic director, Pete Jones, that I'll read to them, and then we'll get their reaction in real time. So, Emma, we'll start with you. This is from Coach Benji.
Oh, goodness.
Emma has always worked hard to improve, but we really didn't see it click for her until last year. She had a very productive year as a middle blocker, and her mature approach and positive attitude led to her being selected as a captain this year. Her volleyball style is a bit unconventional, but she is confident and fearless and has a knack for finding a way to earn points and blocks. Emma is one of the most compassionate teammates I've ever had the pleasure of coaching. She wears her heart on her sleeve, and it really motivates her team. And this is from Mr. Jones. Emma is the type of student athlete that makes AMSA athletics fun to be around. Always pleasant, positive, and smiling, but competitive and driven as well. She is a wonderful person that you want the younger players to emulate, because she is such a great representative of AMSA volleyball and the athletic department as a whole. How's that make you feel?
That's so nice. I mean, when Benji said that I have like an unconventional like way of playing or whatever, when I was on JV and I had our coach Morris as a coach, he would call me Happy Feet because I just like run around and I just have so much energy that I just like be like hopping in place and whatever. But yeah, that's so nice to hear.
Just gratifying getting to hear these types of things from people who have seen you grow throughout the course of your time. They've seen the hard work that you've put in. They've seen the dedication. It's just something to really be proud of. So good for you. So now we've got Cassie, and this is from Coach Benji. Cassie came in as a 6th grader and immediately had a great attitude. When she made the team as a sophomore, she was the most vocal supporter of her teammates that we had ever seen. She actually had to dial back her cheering as it was affecting her vocal cords. On top of this, she worked incredibly hard to improve her serving and setting, and by the end of that season, she was having a big impact on the court. This year, she is one of the most knowledgeable and skilled players on the team and has done an excellent job as a team captain. She has left her stamp on this program at every level, and we will miss her. And for Mr. Jones, Cassie is the greatest teammate a student athlete could ever hope to play with and alongside. She is always positive, caring, and empathetic, and cares more about the team's success than her own individual accolades. She is the epitome of a team-first player and has a championship spirit that will resonate with our program long after she is gone. That's very sweet. That's
very sweet.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel really happy because that is my main goal on the court, is like making sure the team is like up, even if I'm not doing my best. So I'm really happy it resonated. And as you can see, I really did lose my voice off right here.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
To be there for your teammates and to want to cheer them on as loudly as possible to the point where you were into your vocal cords is really something else. So that's really great. Good for you. Now we are at the shout out portion of the interview where these two can take as little or as long as they'd like to, wax poetic about anybody in their lives that has helped them to get to this point. So Cassie, we'll start with you. Take it away.
Okay. Well, I guess shout out to my parents for making me do a fall sport and kind of choosing volleyball for me in 6th grade, because I wasn't going to do that. I was like, I don't even know what volleyball is. Like, I never done it. So thank you for making me do that. Now I've done it for 7 years, hopefully for some more. And then thank you to Mr. Morris, who was my freshman coach, and he's now the JV coach. But for when I came up super nervous on my first day as a 6th grader and asked if this is the volleyball tryouts, thank you for saying congratulations, you're on the team, because there was not enough people for a tryout.
But I'm sure that was something that made you just feel at ease and comfortable. So that's very nice. Is there anybody else that you would like to shout out?
Ruby Todd. She was a really great inspiration for setter. She was a senior my freshman year, and I always looked up to her as a setter. She was a really good role model for like how I should be playing on the court.
Very nice. Thank you. Emma, how about you? Is there anybody that you would like to shout out?
Definitely my mom and my godmother. They come to every game, which has been just so nice to like see them there and know that like no matter where we're playing, what time we're playing, like I'll have somebody there to support me, which is always really nice. Obviously like my sister Maddie, she plays at the University of Miami on their beach team.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's super cool that she's still doing that. Honestly, like she was the reason, like I said, that I got into it and then I started doing it. I'd say after school, like waiting to get picked up and watch their practices, Liv Deckers would come over and like say hi to me in like a British accent. Like it was just so nice to have kind of that environment, like when I was brought into the sport. Also, Melissa and Diana Babinski, like they helped me kind of find my way in volleyball. I think I had Melissa's old shoes for like the first 2 years I was playing, and they were definitely pretty lived in. So definitely thanks, Melissa, for that. But yeah.
Wow, that's great. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing. That was very nice. Congratulations to the two of you on an excellent career with AMSA, and good luck the rest of your senior year and beyond.
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. That is going to bring us to the end of this episode of the Senior Spotlight Show. You can find this episode along with all of the rest of ours archived on our Facebook, Twitter, YouTube pages, and you can also find it at our website on at WMCT-TV.com. So once again, great thanks to Emma and Cassie for being here. I'm Matt Besachio, and we will see you next time on the Senior Spotlight Show. Dang. How about that, guys?